So in which scenario you will use parallel stream in Java 8? What is weak hash map? Do you know why we use qualifier annotation? What is bean wiring in Spring? Do you know how we take a thread dump in Java? Okay, so can you please tell me what is the difference between @component, @service and @repository annotation?
Yes, sure. So at the rate component is using for when we are using the class level, like as we're calling the controller level, want to call the front controller or after the service request. And at the rate service, we can say we have the multiple number of services, number of methods over there which have the maximum line number of line of our business code, which we can call in the controller as well. And at the repository is called whenever we want to the call the database hit or want to retrieve the any information from the database. It's kind of repository.
Okay. So can you please tell me what is the reason of overriding hash code and equals method in Java?
Overriding hash code and equals. Okay.
Yeah.
So hash code and equals method is using mostly the we're using for to compare the object and to calculate the index of the object when we want to place the object in the specific index location. For example, in the hash map, we can see they are the in form of the bucket will contain the number of nodes. And suppose we know that the structure is key comma values the pairing the key comma values node and place in the bucket. Now we want to suppose find out the index of that specific object we want to place inside the bucket. Then we first have to calculate the index of that object. We use the hash code, and then equals method is used whether was to compare the whether the object is a same similar or not. If it is a similar, then we can easily override it, or if it is not similar, then of course we'll create the linked list type of bucket inside the bucket.
Okay.
So this is a structural form we can place the object, or this is the help of this methods we can place our object or in the structural form.
Okay. So suppose in my program I don't import the java.lang package. Okay.
Okay.
So what will happen in that case?
It will it will show the compile error or want to they will force to be import the specific library on the class file.
But are you sure about that? Because am I right? Java .lang package will be imported by default. If you don't write it, it will be imported.
Actually, the object is the main class where we can say the contain the this package. So I don't think so. I mean, if it is not imported in built, it's imported. So we explicitly we don't have to do it.
Can you tell me the difference between failfast and failsafe collections?
Yeah, sure. So fail fast and fail safe. It's the difference is fail fast is whenever the any issues in occur in the collection, it throw the exception. For example, iterator. If we use the iterator and we iterate the number of the elements over the and while the iterating the elements, we when we are try to modify it, it will through the exception that is cannot modified exception, and that is the exception thrown by the fail fast. And fail safe is the like we alternative at the same time we can iterate the elements and or we can change it, or it's a automatically handle that situation. So the iterator is the fail fast and enumerator is a fail safe using in the collection.
Okay. Have you used
Either
reflection?
if we throw the
Okay.
sorry, yeah, please continue.
Yeah, so have you used reflections anywhere?
In the spring, I just heard about it, the reflection. Whenever we want to like the specific object kind of with out of context want to create, then we can use the reflection. But I just heard about it. I haven't used it in implement it in the development activity
Okay.
when I was using the spring.
Okay, so in Java, how garbage collection internally works?
So internally garbage collection, it's using like they are like find out the or it's go through the overall objects or will see which one is a long no not longer using and that will be automatically handled by the garbage collection. Uh, for example, we are using the finalize any object, then also the garbage collection automatically handle it. It's always searching which one is the no longer to use and it's get the law in inside the garbage.
Okay. So how can we create an object dynamically at runtime in Java?
Dynamically runtime in Java.
Yeah.
Um, by creation of the object, okay. So this one of the way is the serialization or deserialization, we can say, and there are the number of ways we can create the object by using the we know that the new keyword and clone and the for class name. But if the runtime, if we can say serialization, deserialization, we can say that.
Yeah, and one more way is to use reflection. So in reflection, you have
Okay,
class dot new instance, and you can create a new object.
okay. So it's actually it's a hard. I just heard about it when I using the Spring MVC when I was a fresher the 1 year, but I haven't implement the actual implement I mean development kind of activity. So that's why
Okay,
maybe I'm not much aware about it. But yeah, I just aware about it, but I haven't used it.
okay. What is weak hash map?
Sorry,
Weak hash map.
weak hash map.
Yeah.
So, a weak hash map is mostly we can say it's unsynchronized, which is a hash map. It's not a thread safe. We can say that it's a fail fast. But other one the alternative we can use the good way is a concurrent hash map. Of course, it's a synchronized and it's a thread safe also and fail safe.
Okay. So suppose I say string s1 is equal to new string and then in double quotes hello world. Okay. So in
Okay.
this line, how many objects will be created?
String s is equal to new string and inside the object.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. So if I much heard about the string have the string pool. So if we are using the new keyword, there you creating the two object inside the pool and other one is a heap memory.
Okay. So why we use concept of string constant pool here?
Okay, so string pool is a most beneficial thing in the Java actually. It's mostly the security, like we the string we can see the it's providing the as we can see the not modifiable thing. We cannot easily the modified use. So mostly security purpose we can see there's we are using strings. So string pool is actually the we can say that beneficial for memory utilization so that they avoid the duplications of it and throughout the we can save the memory in the Java Other thing, the string is mostly the secure purpose, so that it's because of it's unmodifiable, and that's why we are mostly using the string as a password.
Okay. Can we create a finally block without creating a catch block in Java?
Without catch, yes, we can create it.
Yeah. And can we have a multiple catch blocks?
Yes, we can have it, but we should the ensure that the parent of the exception class should be a catch in the end of the before the I mean before the sorry this child class should be a catch before the parent class,
Okay.
parent catch block.
Okay.
Yes.
So is it possible to rethrow an exception?
Yes, we can throw new exception is equal. I mean, using the specific exception by using new exception
Okay.
throws keyword.
Okay. So like there are some thread safe alternatives in Java collection. So one is blocking queue. So can you tell me how this blocking queue works?
Frankly speaking, as of now, I heard about the blocking queue, but I cannot recollect it the actual working or internal working of it.
Okay. Okay, no problem with that. Let me give you a scenario. You need to remove duplicates elements from an array list. So you have an array list, and there may be duplicates as well, because array list can contain duplicates. So you need to remove only the duplicates and have the unique ones. So how do you do that?
Okay, so if I want to see the duplications of the array, I can iterate those array into the hash map and use this keyword like specific elements as in key and value as count. We'll see if this in specific key has a count as more than one, so then I can remove it.
Okay, but there will be memory overhead, because why do you want to use a hash map in that case?
We can see the count of the duplications, or
I mean,
we can have the.
okay, but I don't want the count. I just want the unique ones.
Okay, so we can is using the hash set map. We can use the set collection, which store the unique elements, which will not allow the duplication element. That will be the shortest one.
Okay. Okay. So in collection we have a hash set and we have a tree set. Okay.
Okay.
So which one will be better in which scenario?
Tree set mostly the beneficial for a searching operation, and a hash set is mostly the beneficial for like we manipulation. So if we have to do the manipulations of the we want to do the manipulations of the elements, we will go with the hash set, and a tree set of course the for a searching operation is the best one.
Manipulation, but in hash set already, like these values will be stored in random order.
Inside the hash set you are asking.
Yeah.
Yes, but we can say the tree search, the tree set is the most beneficial for the searching operation as compared to the hash set.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so there is a thing called generics.
Yes,
So
generic.
yeah, so what is the use of that?
Okay, so what we have whenever we using any in the Java, we are using any what can I give the example like array list, or we are using where they store the elements, types of elements. So what we have to do in the initial stage, we have to define the types of elements, like what kind of elements we have to store or and manipulate. So, generics is nothing but the type of the elements we have specified inside when we are in collection framework. So, generic is nothing kind of the types of variable like a v comma k is v can anything be a type will be stores in the next modification. So it's kind of types of elements.
Okay, okay. So there is one copy on write array list also. So what is the use of that?
Copy on
Write.
Copy on right. Okay. So what happened when we are iterating the array list? So that at time, as we can say with it's throw the fail fast. Like it's throw the exception when we are trying to modify these elements in the list while you are iterating. That times it will throw the exception. So to resolve these issues, we can use the copy on write array. This one, otherwise the concurrent hash map I could say. So concurrently, this do not modified exception will throw if we are trying to modify the elements while iterating. So to resolve this issue, the we have a option is copy on write array list element.
Okay, okay. So in threads there is shutdown hook. Okay,
Shutdown
hook.
hook. Okay.
So do you know anything about that?
Actually, no, but I'll try to my best.
Okay. How you can avoid the deadlock situation in your code?
Okay. Just one thing, before that I mentioned the modification exception that was concurrent modification exception. Okay. Right. Okay. The deadlock. The deadlock is nothing about the how we are like how we are execution our process, how we are managing our process. The deadlock it all depends upon the way of we are executing our process. So we should be manage or manage the process or time. We can say that manage the process the way of like they should be not a deadlock. Like we can say this as a kind of synchronize. There should any resources should be a execute or should be wait to the other resource to be a finish. So this all the situation will be decide whether deadlock is resolved or not. So all are depends upon the arranging the process execution and allocating the resource and release the resource.
Okay. Okay. So how can you make a piece of code thread safe?
Okay, thread safe.
Yeah.
We can use the synchronized block.
Synchronized block. Okay. So
Yes.
or so compared to using synchronized block or making a method synchronized, which can be better?
So think the making the synchronize the method is the level of is block level. Uh, I would suggest will be a method level one. Method level will be the best one.
Okay. Have you used executor framework as well?
Executor framework
Yeah.
uh, is in the specific in the Spring.
No, it's a it's a framework which is used in the threads environment.
Okay,
It's
okay. Execute method.
execute
Uh,
is a method, submit is also a method in that. But yeah, executor
yes,
service is a framework in which we use them. But anyways, if you haven't used them, it's not an issue.
yes. I haven't used, but I just aware about it. I just saw the when
Uh,
I just read about the thread.
so there is a future interface, then there is a callable interface. Do you know
Yes,
anything about
yes.
that?
Callable interface, I know when they're communicating the one resource to the another one thread one. So it's using for the to like indicating the sign to the release and allocated the resource. So
Okay.
it's kind of yes, sign communication.
Okay. So have you used Java 8?
I haven't used it, but yes, I just much aware about it.
Okay, okay. So are you okay with if I ask something from Java 8?
Yes, you can ask me.
So in which scenario you will use parallel stream in Java 8?
Okay, parallel stream.
Yeah.
Uh, no, I don't. I mean, I'm much something little bit I've heard about the Java 8, but and haven't used.
Okay. So do you know how we take a thread dump in Java?
Thread dump.
Yeah.
Can we use a block one or
No, no. I mean
finalize?
thread dump. So how can you take a thread dump in Java? There are several steps to take thread dumps. There is a, yeah, tell me.
Uh, no, I'm not sure I can give the answer of this one.
Okay, so there is a command. Okay, no problem. Okay, so in Java 8, let's just leave Java 8, and what we can go. Do you have experience in microservices?
No, I don't have it. No.
Okay, okay. And Hibernate?
Yes, when initially I was fresher, I was working in a Hibernate in Spring Embassy.
Okay.
So if when it's what 6 to 7 8 month project for Spring MVC.
And Spring, do you have experience in Spring?
Yes, yes, Spring
Okay,
MVC.
Spring MVC. Okay, that's great.
Yes.
So in Spring MVC, can you tell me? I want to create a REST application. So can you tell me how I can create a Spring REST application from scratch?
Okay. In the Spring, if you want to we create the REST, you want to create the REST service, right?
Yeah.
So in the Spring, having the @REST controller, through that we can use the annotations. We can create the REST API. Throughout the if I can say the flow of the creation or flow of the execution, I can say that there was we have to a dispatcher or front controller where we have the created the which one will call your specific controller whenever you given the at the red component or your class path, it will
Hmm.
hit on the specific action mapping or handler mapping. And of course this specific method specific controller will be specified as a REST controller by using the @REST mapping on your top of your controller. We can use it or not, or else we can use the on top of the method as well.
Okay. Okay. So there is an annotation called configuration annotation.
Okay,
Oh, so
configuration
yeah.
annotation.
So do you know what is the purpose of that?
uh, Maybe I have used it but not able to recollect it now.
Okay, okay, no problem. Do you know why we use qualifier annotation?
Qualifier, yes, I much about heard about it. Qualifier annotation is using when we have to the uniquely identifications if we have the same uh, name of the attribute in the class.
Okay. On the database side, what type of database you are using?
Oracle SQL, I've used it.
Okay, and what JPA you are using to connect your code with database?
Okay, we are using the Oracle driver class uh, to connection the Oracle 11G.
No, I mean, you are not using Hibernate, right? So you may be
Right
using
now, yeah.
something else as a JPA.
Yes, actually, right now we are using the Liferay one. So Liferay has on inbuilt of their JPG, and we can say we have to just the property files. We can override over there. So JDBC are using here.
Okay. So Spring Framework supports different types of transaction management, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So do you know something about that?
I've used the added transaction annotations when I using the retrieving the actions from the database or any connection with the database, and for security purpose I use the added transaction annotations for them.
Okay. Okay. So what is bean wiring in Spring?
Being sorry
Wiring,
why.
bean wiring, just like auto wiring, bean wiring.
Okay, okay. Auto wiring, I know it's automatically whenever we want to inject the dependency of the any class inside the another class. Uh, we can say auto wired, but being wiring, no, I don't know about it.
Okay. 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 So I think I have done from my side. Do you have any questions?
No.